Hello, guys. It's me, Pest News 101, with I don't even know what your name is anymore. Is it known? Is it a changed name? 108?
Well, so you can just call me J2 still, because that's what everyone knows me
Oh,
by. But technically, right now, my name is still name changed 108, and actually, here in a minute, I should be able to see if I get to change my name when I open up Smite again or not. But we'll find out, I guess.
and we also have Sergeant Miller from Midgard joining us. He's from Band of Brothers. He's from the solo lane. And, he kind of dummied me on Friday night, but we're not going to talk about that.
It's all in the details. Sup, y'all?
All right, Preston, if you want
And
to, we can just start with review. I mean, there's not much intro to this
yeah,
one.
there's not much. Midgard Serpents 2-0 in Jotunheim. Midgard Serpents 2-0. I thought this was Assault. This was kind of expected. Even talking with some of the I thought this was Assault people, they were like, yeah, but what we're trying to show is some improvement, which was, it's a good mindset, but I like to think going into any set, thinking you're going to win is a good idea.
So, well,
But
I heard a little bit because they played earlier today, actually, before the streamed game on
yeah,
Twitch. I heard they said that they felt like, or some of the players felt like they could have actually, maybe not
oh
won,
yeah, they
but come in
definitely could have.
closer. Um,
I think they could have, like, from what I heard, I was messaging with one of their members, and he said there was a turning point where they were pretty, not close, but they were in range of
yeah.
making a comeback.
You see, what I heard is
And
that the
it,
side lanes got beat on, and then
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, improvement's good. It's definitely good coming up with their playoffs.
Well, it's
Right around the
also what you
corner.
got to
So
expect
yeah,
with what Midgard Serpents like to do. They like to let their mid laner get to late game and then just start bodying people, and they pressure out the side lanes a lot
yeah.
with their jungle pressure. Yep.
All right. If you want to
And
continue.
then next, yeah. And then next game, Fagard versus Alien Tuna, forfeit for Alien Tuna. They were not able to play my team. Um,
A shame, really. I was kind of excited to watch that match.
I was excited to play that match 100% because I was just like, I know nothing about Alien Tuna. Like all I've heard about is from what our team posts in the chat. They're like, oh yeah, we need to look out for this or look out for that. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what this guy lanes like, and I was excited to just play. It was starting to feel like a ranked game where you don't know what the fuck's going on.
I feel that.
Yeah, so I was excited for it. Um, but the next game was the one streamed tonight, and it was Royals versus Housewives. Well, Helix Housewives. And my God, did Helix Housewives impress me in game one? They
I'll tell
lost
you
it in the
what.
end, but
Yeah.
oh,
I was
oh,
definitely impressed. Although I was gonna say give props to Baza from the Royals because he was hitting some amazing teamfight initiations on the Kakulin.
I'll just say this. I will say this. Nexel has impressed me, like the solo laner for Housewives, because in that game, until the end game, of course, he had Baza beat, and Baza is one of the top solo laners in our division. Like,
It was
I don't
definitely
know how to.
yeah.
He, I don't think you can argue a fact that early, mid game, all of that Baza is the better solo laner in that game. Not like overall. Clearly, Baza's proven himself as the top 3 solo laner in the division.
Mm-hmm.
But Nextel really gave him a run for his money. He's definitely making him sweat, and I think even Baza would admit that
Yeah.
was a matchup. And then Baza brought it back really in the team fight stage, in the engagements, in the rotations. So props to Baza. The guy is just a menace in team fights in our
I,
division, and I'll
I
give him a
can't
compliment there.
I can't confirm. I mean, Soul Lane just looked like a battle of titans, and sadly, one titan had to fall.
And that's one thing I really like
True.
about Baza is I'll play him in solo lane, and typically I win the early to mid game, but he kind of educates me on how like the end game, how you're supposed to play and what you're supposed to do. So like I give him props.
Yeah, no, it was a fun game to watch. I really enjoyed it. I thought in that first game I was really impressed with Tyne and his Daji pick. He was getting active
Oh, that was
early
insane.
to get his team ahead. I think a lot of the problems for Housewives there is they had one bad call where they tried to end
And
they
yeah,
tried to end a little bit too early, and I think it kind of caused the momentum to shift to the Royals' favor. And then
can I?
their drafting in that game won too. Like they at that point they were on a clock. They once they got the team fight stage where they were all even. I mean, they're not going to team fight better than Odin, Persephone, Hunbats.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
only
Plus
matchup you
plus
win there.
Cucullin. Like it was tough.
I personally think the only matchup you win there is the solo lane. I think just Achilles late game wins against Colin, but
But
I'll just say
luckily,
this:
go ahead.
Nexale did something differently. So the way I like to play Achilles, and Sergeant Miller, you can pop in anytime with this, is I like to be in the damage stance early and then switch to the defense stance. But what he did was he started off in the defense stance and then late game turned it into the offensive stance so he could get more damage off late game. And personally, I'm just thinking, late game, you want that defense so you can get those stuns off. You can get those moments off because you're not doing that much damage. And I feel like that might have been a contributing factor. I'm not 100% sure, though.
I mean, when I looked at that, I definitely was thinking this is interesting, but then I really thought about it, and I guarantee you he went defense for the matchup and went for the offense stance in the late game fight, so that way when he dove for the back line, he could actually get his job done. It just when you're trying to fight into an Odin, a Persephone, a Hoonbots, it's just really difficult to try to get all of your kit off while not getting hit with 4 giant circles.
True.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But like I gotta give him props because he was probably the funnest matchup for me to play against in scrims and stuff. Was because I'm not gonna lie, I tilted a little bit against their team because they unpaused in an untimely manner for me. But I ran down lane at him and I survived it somehow. But I got a 5-man gank onto me when I was 2 levels up on him. And he was still willing to fight me, and that's one thing I just gotta respect it, man. That's a different level of balls, and I think he could end up being the top solo laner in our division easily. Just the way his mindset.
I mean, with the fact that this was last Jotunheim game for right now until playoffs.
Yep.
I legitimately think if you were to keep an eye on solo laners, I think when it comes to Jotunheim, Nexale, and Baza, those 2 names you got to keep an eye out for.
For sure, I'd have to agree. Nah, Preston, nah, you don't get all the shine this time. All right.
I don't get any shine.
I agree. No, I agree though. I think keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I think keeping an eye on the Housewives going into it will be cool, and Nexale for sure. And then of course you got to watch Baza and the Royals, as they've been dominant all season. So
I think you gotta. If there wasn't an award for most improved for our division, I think it has to go to Nexel. The guy has been insane on his improvement in the last few weeks.
I have to agree, honestly.
Same with their jungler. Like Housewives have had insane improvement. Like we're just gonna talk about this for a second, is because at the start of the season they didn't look like they were gonna contend for anything. They look like they can play with the top 3 teams like Fagard, House. Housewives and Royals, they can play with us. And I don't think that's a question anymore.
Yeah, same with Midgard.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, they and then nothing with Awen. I think it's more what they're used to. I think Gramick, if they had Gramick in, because that's who they're used to, and Gramick is more of a carry style support, like he will do damage and he will get people killed for you. I honestly think they take a game off of Royals with Gramick.
I could see it, for sure.
I know how disgusting Gramick is. And also, Awen has more of that solo lane style, and even though he played phenomenal in that game one, there's also something to be said about we're used to playing with this person. You know what I mean?
I can understand.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Gramick also is a beast.
Jotunheim's going to be fun to watch. Like, playoffs for Jotunheim are probably going to be one of, if not the most viewed for Animosity.
I think it'll be the most exciting. I think it'll be the most exciting division to watch for the playoffs because there's realistically, I would say in my head, there's 4 teams that could win it for sure, and then like I wouldn't be surprised if there's another one that pops up that like gives one of those 4 teams a run for their money. So
the underdogs.
But I definitely think like there's 4 teams that with Housewives now showing what they could do in that first game.
Well, I think you have to give the favorites to Midgard. They've proven it. They've beaten the top other 2 teams.
We can talk about this in the prediction section if you want. But
okay, we'll move on.
I was gonna say,
let's start on to the Midgard. You two, Midgard monsters.
So, in Midgard division from this past week, becoming a theme here, but my good buddy Sergeant Miller's team had another bye week, so not
don't
much.
even get me.
Not much to say there. Elysian gets the forfeit win this week. They were supposed to play SHG, who dropped from the division a couple weeks ago. My team, Volnus Mortale, 2 O's, Lords of Ulster, and Firelink 5, 2 O Land-based girls. Not much to say there, other than, well, me and Pest bet against Firelink 5 again, and that was we got proved wrong twice. So thanks, Curvis. Thanks, Curvis.
Curvis is just laughing at his desk now.
I'll see you this week, I guess, bud. But any thoughts for you on our division this week, Sergeant?
I mean, what are some? Obviously my team's on a bye week, so we're going into the shop. We're looking at some of the players we can improve. Otherwise, not really much can be said about Band of Brothers. Other than to give y'all some behind the scenes stuff. My Maddie and Doc have been looking absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to see how they perform once we get ourselves back into the main light of things.
When is your guys' next game?
Yeah.
When is your guys' next game?
Playoffs.
Oh, all right. So yeah,
I'm just gonna
on the big stage.
I would just like to say this: Sergeant Miller's undercutting himself. He kind of we scrimmed them Fagard, and yeah, that was an experience. He kind of showed me team fighting and how to do it a little bit better than what I'm doing, or a lot better, I would say.
When it comes to the situation of it's Volnus versus Firelink this week, right?
It is Volnus versus Firelink.
Yeah.
We could talk about that in predictions if you want, but
that's in predictions. Yeah,
I'm gonna save my predictions for that, but I definitely want to see that match streamed because I want to be one of the first ones in the front row with a bag of popcorn.
Oh man, well I get my account back, so it's J2 and Arksel Revenge Tour this week, so
let's go.
Because Smite diff.
Oh, they
I
might
guess.
be rusty,
Hey, I don't know if we'll be that rusty. I mean, I get diffed every week in the jungle, so.
I'm excited to see it regardless.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do. It'll probably get streamed, honestly, so we'll see.
To be fair, I will say this: Vass has become a minor mentor of mine in the solo lane. Same with Sergeant Miller; those two have been probably helping me out the most. So I'm really excited to see Vasco up against King Kerbis as one of the figureheads of the league.
Yeah, that'll be a
It's
fun
You know?
matchup. We
it'll
can
be
talk about
fun.
that
Mhm.
later. Got a little
Yeah.
bit to go there.
We need to move on to the
Yeah.
Bifrost tournament.
Yeah, so moving into Bifrost, VTubers Paradise did have a bye week this week. Gumbo's team 2-0'd Helix Paladins. Profits did get the 2-0 win over Tactically Inting. That game was also streamed. Not much to really say
Ruins the
there.
guest record.
It did ruin the guest record. Not much to really say there for that one. It went probably how most people would have expected. And then Double Jungle versus
Except for
Helix
the guest.
Prime is rescheduled for next week, I believe on Tuesday. There was some scheduling issues there, so that game has not been completed yet.
And
Huh.
I would just like to and I haven't asked this of most of the when Kerbis and Double A were on.
Right.
So this is kind of a mistake on myself. But is that like a common thing where you can schedule to the next week or something?
Yeah. So like
Um,
if there's a scheduling issue, I think sometimes you're allowed to.
I think it's like by a case by case basis, you know.
Yeah.
For some they'll
Okay,
allow
so,
it, for
like-
some they won't.
So what would be a case that they won't allow? Like I'm just trying
So,
to
like-
understand why.
So the thing is, right? Basically, if one team, like say my team is playing Band of Brothers one week, and for
Good
whatever
example.
reason, and for whatever reason, my team couldn't find us, like we couldn't schedule the game or whatever. Band of Brothers at that point has the choice where they can take the forfeit win, or they can opt to extend it to this week, and then it just has to be approved by the league. And I'm pretty sure they would, as long as Band of Brothers is cool with it. The other case comes in with if no one reports a game being played or forfeited, both teams take a loss because the game wasn't reported and they didn't ask for like an extension for the next week.
Okay.
So that's how that.
I was just trying to make sure. So it would be similar to what our game 3 with Midgard Serpents was, where we could have taken the win, but we were just like, that isn't a true win.
Yeah.
So we ended up going with the game 3. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly like that. Not much to note here from the Bifrost tournament for me. I believe. I mean, I still think Profits are going to win it. So, but yeah, we'll go. We can move on.
But
Go ahead.
I just have also another quick question. Also, yeah, I get sidetracked a lot.
Yeah, I
was gonna
ADHD
say.
brain, by the way.
We got a lot of questions there.
You got more questions in the community, dude. That's crazy.
Well, I'm answering questions for the community, I guess.
All right.
So for the playoffs, so the seeding works with the first 2 seeds get the bye week.
Yes. The 3 seed will play the
So-
6 seed. The 3 seed will play the 6 seed, right? And the 4 seed.
Oh,
will,
that's terrifying.
and the 4 seed will play the 5 seed. Okay. So then
Okay.
after that, I don't believe.
Oh,
I don't believe.
we get Helix Fallen then.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. The brackets haven't been announced 100% yet, so.
Yeah, especially with some of the leagues still having a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I'm
interesting.
talking about Jotunheim. I think we play Helix Fallen then because Alien Tuna forfeited to them. We had a whole conversation about this in our own chat.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when the schedule's released. But anyways, yeah. So you'll play the 6 seed, and then after that, I don't know if they do reseeding or not, but yeah, you'll play it. You'll see the bracket when it comes out next week. So it'll be okay.
I'm stressing about it, man.
It'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Any other standout players from this week that anyone wants to touch on, or?
Again, I will say from the Royals, everyone knows who I'm going to say, but it's Cats.
Oh yeah.
Cats just has a different. He is probably, if I'm going through all the players in the division, I'm putting him number 1 as of right now because I haven't seen him have a bad game in a league game. so far. I've seen everyone have a bad game. Like, Boz has had bad games. I think that game 2 against us, he had a bad game. I think I've had bad games. Well, I definitely have had bad games. That's without question. The game 1 against Midgard Serpents kind of. And it's just, you've seen everyone have bad games, and then just this lone carry is just dumpstering teams. I don't think it's a question of who is the most consistently good player at the very least, and I'd like to point that out.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. And honestly, if I were to put my opinion into the ringer, I legitimately think I Love Cats is worthy of a position in Midgard come season 3.
Yeah,
It's fair.
yeah. I would like to say I'm worthy of a Midgard position, but
All right,
I
pass.
just got.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll admit that a Midgard soul laner diffed me. I'll give him credit.
Oh,
Um, I another one is Awen. He showed really good. Like, he can switch positions. He went to that support position, and again, I wasn't saying he was a weakness of that team. He was a strength of that team. He made big plays. His Yamoja was really good. Like, the amount of pulls he did with that was pretty impressive. Um, so I think he deserves Midgard in his role. You know what I mean?
I mean, if the day comes and A1 does come to Midgard for solo, I'm excited to see that matchup come to fruition.
Have you played them in a scrim?
I have not had that pleasure yet. Scheduling mostly being the big one.
Okay, I know you've played him in an in-house.
Yeah.
And
like,
you said that was a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, I can confirm. But
Okay.
J2, any notable players from Midgard that come to your mind? Or
From Midgard,
Arxel.
yeah, I mean Arxel didn't play.
I mean,
Arxel didn't play.
I mean, not to be that guy, but if you look at top stats for the league, Arxel's got like 4 of them under his name.
Arxel's a beast, but we'll leave that alone. Actually, no, Arxel sucks. Everyone, leave him. Don't look at Arxel at all.
Okay, I'm so fucking tilted with him because I remember playing a fucking Slash game with him, and he had the most damage by like 20k. And he's like, dude, I'm so fucking trash. Like, and I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah,
dude, you carried us. I did so bad.
Yeah, no, but no, Arxel's awesome. Trying to think
I
because
will.
there wasn't really that many games this week. I didn't get to catch the Firelink versus Land-Based Girls one, so I can't really, sadly, give
I
anyone
did.
credit there.
I'll give Harambe credit. He had pretty decent
Who?
control over the jungle.
Who?
White Harambe.
It's.
I'm pretty sure that's his name, right?
Oh no!
Am I so fucking wrong?
Yes, you're horribly wrong.
Harambe?
What is his name? What is? Fuck.
It's. Oh no.
Well, I think of people on their team and their position, and then I think of their name. So that's my issue right now.
Sergeant Miller, help me, please, help.
It's White Ombre, and
like white man. Anyways.
Yep.
Not Harambe.
Yeah, I'd say
the
him.
gorilla that was killed. And then never mind. Oh my god.
oh lord.
I think he is a standout.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
He had even in, and I've noticed this in games where he doesn't do so hot, he still ensures that his jungle is safe.
I mean, flashbacks to our first set against Firelink 5, and that man was just in our jungle, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, we were both on desk for that one, and we were losing our minds over the set.
Oh yeah. And then other than that, if we go to Bifrost, I think my sweet potato
Cure.
from Profits. No, I'm not even gonna say Cure. Honestly, I mean we all know how good Cure is. I would think. Or
I'm just saying the 14-1 game, man.
well, yeah, for sure. But I think my sweet potato. I mean, he played good both games.
Yeah.
He
Potato
did
was
impress. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was.
Potato's
impressive.
something else, man.
No, he was.
I've had the pleasure of playing with him a few times in like casuals, and like he doesn't say anything, but his skills speak for him.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. And I think with that, we can move into. We actually have some clips from the community before we get into predictions. We have one from King Kerbis, and actually, our boy who's here with us today, Sergeant Miller, came out with a little montage of his solo lane skills. So we'll give you a little preview of that. That link will be in the description for everyone to go check out. So we'll be right back after that. You owe me. Yeah, so those are some great clips right there. Love to see clips from the community come through. If you want to send us anything, you can send it to either me or Pest News on Discord. You can find us through the Animosity thing, or even we have a little channel in there for suggestions. You can send it to there. Same thing with questions. Love dealing with the community and showcasing as many players as we can. With that being said, though, we can head right into predictions for this week. There's not many going to be said. I think there's only actually 2 games throughout the whole league being actually played that we know of right now. But Pest, if you want to say the Jotunheim little blip we have there, you can go ahead.
We just have a bye week for Jotunheim because of the playoffs. We generally know how the playoffs are going to, like, not for the second round, but for the first round, we generally have an idea of how they're going to play out, but not play out, but who's going to be playing.
Yeah, the brackets.
Who? They're pretty self-explanatory. It's based on seeding. I believe the first 2 seeds get to choose their people, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
No, they get a bye week.
They just get a bye week? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for Jotunheim. This week is there's no Jotunheim content.
Yep. And those brackets should be announced later this week, courtesy of AA. And once those are out, we'll be able to make real predictions. I think we could probably all agree the favorites for Jotunheim would be Midgard Serpents as of right now, but I think there's probably about 3 other teams that could take it instead of Midgard Serpents, but it'll be fun to watch. Anyways, we can
we'll move on to Midgard now. Yeah,
we can move into Midgard. We do have Band of Brothers. Look at that. You guys got a game in, kind of, on your schedule.
Really? You guys are actually playing?
No, they're not. They get a forfeit win.
Oh,
Forfeit win
fuck.
over Silver Hillbilly Gankers, who did drop from the league.
It's a shame. I was actually really looking forward to that match.
I heard that they're supposed to be pretty. They were supposed to be decent. We did scrim them once, and we did win. But like, I heard they were supposed to be like at least okay. So it would have been fun to watch. But I guess we'll have to wait to see some Band of Brothers content till the playoffs come around.
Yeah. Not a fan of that myself, but at the same time, it also gives us a lot of time to really look at the inner machinations and just figure out what we need to do.
Yeah.
I'll just say this for the league. It was very inconvenient, the amount of teams dropping.
Yeah, it really did screw some people over, and I mean, honestly, I'd give props to Sergeant Miller and his boys, because that would be so rough sitting out. I think that's going to be a total of 5 weeks in a row they have to wait to play.
4 weeks.
Yeah, so it's I don't blame them. But anyways, first game on our list that we actually get to predict is Volnus Mortale versus Firelink 5. Both teams are undefeated in the division.
I think you should probably do this one last. Yeah. I'll go 2-1.
2-1.
Volnus.
Okay.
I'll say Firelink. I'm done betting against Kerbis fully.
You just did though.
Fully. I'm saying fully. I'm saying he's getting a win out of this. But I'm sorry. I've played against Volnus enough times where it's like they're trolling against us at this point, and they're still dumpstering us. So.
What do you mean? We don't do that ever. We never.
Yeah, you guys never troll. That's not a thing.
We're just working on our pocket picks.
Yeah, right. But I'll say this. Yeah. I have gained a lot of respect over the last 2 weeks for Firelink 5, and honestly, I think in the playoffs they might give you a run for your money, but as of right now, I'm going with you guys 2-1.
Sergeant Miller, what are your thoughts, Mr. Guest?
Ooh, see, this is on one hand, proud member of Blobkiss Gang, so I gotta.
You are.
On the other hand,
everyone here is.
True.
Firelink 5 being my team's initiator into this league as a whole. So it's definitely hard to call it, but I definitely got to say I think I'm going to give it to Volnus 2-1.
All right. And, well, since it is my team, I'm going to predict that we're going to win the set. I want to know.
I thought you were going to go 2-0 Firelink, you know?
Why would I ever predict? Dude, it's mine and Arxel's revenge tour, so. But no, I was talking to Kerbis last week after we recorded episode 2 of the podcast, and he did say that he thought that we were going to 2-1 them as well. I'm going to predict the 2-0 just because I feel like I have to, but he said, yeah, I think you guys will 2-1 us because I think you guys are going to get cocky and lose the first game, is what he said. So
no, I think it was the second game.
So we'll see. We'll see if he's right. But he did say White Ombre, aka Harambe, is gonna diff me in the jungle in the first game. So it'll be fun to see. I'm excited for it.
Well, to be fair, he did say the diff was gonna be because of your cockiness.
I'm not even cocky though. That's the problem. I literally call myself the worst player on the team every day. But it's
team overall, there we are. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who is cocky on your team, but I don't know who I talked to enough that is cocky. I'm sorry. I've seen Arxel go 20k damage over me as a full damage mage and still say he's fucking trash. So
yep, that's pretty much the whole team's mindset. We just call ourselves trash the whole time, and then yeah. But anyways, no, it'll be a fun game.
All right, let's move on.
I'm excited for it. But and then next we do have Land-Based Girls versus Lords of Ulster. For me, I have to give it to Land-Based Girls. I just think that they're a more complete team. I know that Lords of Ulster did just have their jungler leave them. They have, I believe it's Personify, aka Kev, is the new jungler for Lords of Ulster, so it could be some roster just growing pains with the switch. So I'm gonna give it to land-based girls.
Just a quick question.
Of course.
Is there any? Yeah, Past is the questioner here. Is there any any shareable information on why he left?
I think it was just inter-team discourse, just certain individuals not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
I mean,
I will say this: if Lords of Ulster win, I find it is always their dual lane pressure, and I don't know how well land-based girls can handle it. I know their dual lane is solid. I think it's a 2-1 for land-based girl, but I'll say Lords of Ulster. I say Lords of Ulster actually give them a fight.
Okay. Sergeant Miller, what about you?
See, I've played against both these teams, and I mean, we don't have the best of records with it, but we did get our one set. Well, we did get a win against Lords of Ulster in a game. While against Lambies, we did not, but we were also going through some issues with that in our own roster. So, looking at this from my point of view, I definitely feel like it'll be a battle of do Lambies want to try to match Lords of Ulster's duo pressure, or do they want to try to go through solo, which is kind of the strategy we used against them. Honestly, thinking about it back and forth, I think it's gonna be 2-1 in favor of Ulster.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay.
There we are, a spice pick. But I'll say this for Lords of Ulster. Their dual lane pressure, I don't think you can say you definitively win it every game. Because they just have so much. They have so much talent in that dual lane, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, because that game still plays in my head like on a day-to-day basis. You either match it or you just deal with it.
Yeah.
All right.
And you have to get rid of the Fenrir on them. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I like to play the
All right,
Fenrir,
we can move on, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can agree. I think it'll be a fun game. So I think both matchups this week, it's, well, what is that? It's 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4, I believe. So it'll be fun to watch. It'll be a good week for Midgard. Anyways, moving on to the Bifrost tournament. There's no schedule yet for this week because of the reschedule between Destiny and I Love Dragons. Or, no, they didn't play, I believe.
Yeah, they didn't play.
What happened? Yeah. So Destiny and I Love Dragons did not play, and so there's no info on that yet. And then Double Jungle versus Helix Prime was rescheduled, so with 2 games not being played from this past week, as of right now, the tournament can't be reseeded. So there's no schedule yet with that one.
So, quick question.
Oh my god, yeah.
Again. So,
of course.
Are we going to do guessing with who are we going to do the guessing with? Like the guest predictions.
What do you mean?
Well, they still have to play, so clearly I think Sergeant Miller gets a chance at it.
To predict the games that haven't played yet? I mean, there was a prediction last week.
I mean, are we going to stick with that one?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
I mean, we could get Sergeant Miller's input if he wants, but...
Yeah, well, I think we'll get his for sure.
Okay. I mean, so...
Have you...
So what am I supposed to do?
Do you know anything? Do you know anything about Double Jungle or Helix Prime? And if you do, who do you think will win the matchup?
I know nothing about either of these teams.
All right. Well, so let me give you a little rundown. Right, Helix Prime is a Vanaheim team, and Double Jungle is, as of before Profits entered this situation, was by far the best Asgard team. So.
Oh.
So yeah, there's your insight.
Okay, that's some insight. That'll help me. See, I feel like certain Vanaheim teams have definitely been putting up quite a fight against these Asgard teams, but I just because of the difference of Asgard versus Vanaheim, I gotta give it to Double Jungle. But I will give Helix Prime a game out of this, so 2-1 in favor of Double Jungle.
All right. And then the other one is Destiny vs. Isle of Dragons. I don't really have info on any of these teams.
I'm not changing it. I've heard a couple things, and from what I've heard, I'm still going with Dragons.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't even going on the record book, so you guys can say what you want, but I believe everyone picked Dragons last week, so.
I was gonna say Doc's played with Dragons, and he said that they're very solid. It's just they've also been going through a lot of shifts. But I will give it to Dragons just because of the fact that they're solid. Like from the little bit we've seen and heard, they're a solid team, and they're fun to watch.
All right.
I think Destiny has clear strengths, but they have clear weaknesses, and if you can exploit those weaknesses, you're a win. I'm not going to say what weaknesses, though.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll be fair. I like all those guys. They're all good guys, so.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think this is going to be a little bit shorter episode than usual. As well, there's not that many games that are going to be played this week, so prediction section is a little shorter. If you guys have any clips you want to send in, like I stated earlier, you can just send them into me. You can send them into Preston or Pest News. You can send them into the little channel we have in the Discord labeled Animosity Frontliners. We did get a logo, by the way. I'd like to shout out Flameo Hotman. He did make the logo for us. I like it. I think
Lords of Ulster support?
Yes, he is Lords of Ulster support.
He actually gave us multiple options.
He did.
So the fact that this guy put so much time into it, I have to put so much credit towards him.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to see.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah. So any clips like that, any questions, you can send into those channels or just directly to me or Pest News. And with that being said, I think we're all good. Any closing remarks from our guest or you, Pest?
I'll say I'm happy that Sergeant Miller came on this week.
Yeah.
Because
last minute.
I don't know.
Last minute.
We've been chatting for last minute, and we've been chatting for a few weeks, and I just appreciate his input onto my game as a Jotunheim player. And that's where I'll end it.
I mean, the only thing I could really say is that it's super fun that I could come on here, even though it's last minute, and just kind of chat it up with y'all.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff going on in the league. Even though it's me and my guys' first time here, we've enjoyed it thoroughly, and we're excited for season 3, regardless of what happens with playoffs.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I mean, I know that my team, pretty much my team, competed in season 1 as well, and it's definitely been fun being part of the community, meeting people like yourself and Pest here. So it's cool. It's a nice little community. So, anyways, I think we'll wrap up. And we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
Have a good one, guys.